Hey, what's up weebs and gamers, Dungeons Coke here. Now as you might have seen with the title, today I'm going to be talking about the top 21 highest bounties in One Piece, but with a little twist. So to make things a bit more interesting, I'm also going to be predicting what each of the characters' next and final bounty is going to be. And stay till the end of the video for a bonus as well. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Alright, at number 21, there's Jack the Drought with a whopping bounty of 1 billion berries. And it is indeed very whopping because for the first billion berry man that we've seen in the entire story, he got whooped as many times as there are zeros in his bounty. If they are the D clans in One Piece, then Jack will definitely be from the L clan. And to be honest with you, with him likely being captured by the Marines, I do not see his bounty going up at all. At number 20, there's Blackleg Sanji with a bounty of 1,032 million berries. And this is very well deserved for our now blue leg cook who went from getting absolutely demolished by Doflamingo to pretty easily defeating Queen, who is the second commander of an emperor. And for Sanji, I expect his next bounty to be at 1,933 million berries, which is a number that will bring him from being number 4 within the Straw Hats back to his rightful place at number 3. And I got my money on this number because even if to us the reader we know that he's technically the quote-unquote second in command, the rest of the world just do not see that. The world government specifically pretty much only sees him as a cook who kicks people around. So for him to really be recognized as one of the wings of the future Pirate King, Sanji will need to do something quite massive. How massive, you say? Well, I guess like beating an entire fleet by himself or defeating a top tier character like an admiral. That's why at the end of the series, I also predict that he'll have a bounty of 2,663,200,000 berries. 2 billion because 3 billion is a little bit too high, 66 because of Germa 66, and 32 because Sanji. At number 19, there's a fan favorite character with a bounty of 1,057,000,000 berries, Katakuri. So disclaimer, I'm not a Katakuri dick rider, but I straight up expect his new bounty to be that of 2,157,000,000 berries. And the reason for that is that if, and I mean if, Big Mom is truly dead or out of the commission, like for example she's back in a coma or something, the only person to fill up the role of the ruler of Whole Cake Island and the new leader of the Big Mom Pirates will be Katakuri. But that's not all, because in the recent event of the manga, we also learned that the Blackbeard pirates have kidnapped Pudding, and we all know how great of a yeah, my bad. We all know how family orientated he is, so I fully expect him to take the remaining forces of the Big Mom Pirates to go straight at Blackbeard's throat to take back his sister. And whether that conflict ends up in a success or in utter failure will earn him a bounty increase. That's why I expect for his final bounty to be that of 2,570,000,000 berries. At number 18, there's a Knight of the Sea, the Giga Boss, Jinbei, with a bounty of 1,100,000,000 berries. So at first I was very surprised that he ended up having a higher bounty than Sanji, but at the same time it also made perfect sense because bounties are a reflection of how the world sees you, and not only does the world sees Jinbei as an ex-warlord who participated during the Paramount War, but also the world government considers him as a big threat because of his knowledge and the power that he has when surrounded by water. So for Jinbei's next bounty, I expect a bounty of 1,760,000,000 berries. And the reason why I anticipate the 760 million berries part is because his first bounty was 76 million berries, so it seemed pretty fair. And for Jinbei's final EOS bounty, I think he's going to have a respectable number at 2,250,000,000 berries. Number 17, there's the long overdue need of an epithet change, Pirate Hunter Zorro, with a bounty of 1,111,000,000 berries. So yeah, honestly, why is he even still known as a pirate hunter when he's been a pirate for the past like 3 years? Like, come on man, just name him something different already. And you know, it's kind of funny because I initially thought that the 3 ones that we see here signified Zorro's 3 sword style, But nah, his bounty is just his birthday, November 11th. So yeah, I guess it makes sense. And for Zorro, I think that his bounty has one of the biggest room to grow in this list, considering the fact that not only is he going to be the right-hand man of the future Pirate King, but he is also going to be crowned as the new world's strongest swordsman, meaning that Zorro's final bounty will indeed surpass that of Mihawk's, who by the way I'm going to talk about later in this video, so stick around for that. So for Zorro's next bounty, which I expect to come after he either defeats Shiryu or an admiral, to be at 2,112,000,000 berries. And for his final bounty, I am 100% sure that it is going to be 3,911,000,000 berries. 3 for his 3-sword style, 9 for his Ashura, and 11 for his birthday. At number 16, there's Queen the Plague with a bounty of 1,320,000,000 berries. So Queen earned that bounty not only for being part of the most violent pirate crews ever, but also for being an ex-member of MADS, the scientist group consisting of Judge Vinsmoke, Caesar Clown, and Dr. Vegapunk. And just like Jack and the rest of the Beast Pirates, I expect him to be captured and sent to Impel Downs by the Marine, which means that we are probably never going to be seeing Queen ever again. So no next bounty for Queen. Number 15, there's Marco the Phoenix with a bounty of 1,374,000,000 berries. And I absolutely love that we got to see Marco again in Wano, especially with his new drip. Even though his role in Wano was mostly supportive, the things that he's done really showed us again how versatile of a fighter he is. One second he could be flying around hitting people, and the next he will be somewhere else kicking ass, which is exactly what we saw during Wano when he went from helping slowing down the Ice Oni transformation to him fighting both Queen and King at the same time. But with him going back to Sphinx Island, it seems that he's going to be retiring and end up like Rady. And to be real with you, I believe that this is not the end for Marco. We are definitely going to be seeing him again, because I believe that he will be playing a major role in whatever Oda is cooking with Weevil. That's also why I believe that Marco's bounty is not going to increase from here on out. Number 14 goes to King the Wildfire with a slightly higher bounty than Marco, sitting at 1,390,000,000 berries. And this is an amazing bounty for the showings that he had throughout Wano. He was able to humiliate the Big Mom Pirates and give the biggest ass whooping Zorro ever got. Not only that, but he's also the first Lunarian that got introduced in the story. And even though King himself won't be that important anymore, the lore surrounding his race is crucial to the truth that's been hidden. The same thing that happened to Queen and Jack also includes King. So if we're ever going to see him again, it'll be behind bars. So no new bounties for him. Number 13 goes to Boa Hancock with a bounty of 1,659,000,000 berries. This number was quite surprising to me because I kind of expected more, because she's legit a mini emperor. Like, she has territory, the notoriety of the Kuja pirates, she has commanders, and also has Conqueror's Haki. She pretty much ticks all of the boxes of a Yonko, but on a smaller scale. And honestly, I don't expect a new bounty increase anytime soon, but I do think that her final bounty is going to be at 2,059,000,000 berries, which is extremely fitting for who might be the next strongest woman in One Piece. Number 12 goes to one of my favorite characters, Sir Crocodile, with a bounty of 1,965,000,000 berries. And pretty much how he got this bounty is not only because he's a former warlord, nor because he's a cool ass mafia boss, but also because he's now part of the Cross Guild. So yeah, Crocodile is essentially a Yonko commander now. And just like for Boa, I don't expect to be seeing an increase for his bounty anytime soon, but I do expect his final bounty to be that of 2,810,000,000 berries. Next up, number 11, number 10, and number 9 goes to the 3 captains who all freshly got out of Wano after dethroning 2 emperors, Law, Kid, and Luffy, with a bounty of 3 billion berries each. And the reason why they all have 3 billion berries is because the total bounties of the 2 Yonkos that they defeated added up to 9 billion berries. And 9 billion berries divided by 3, then we got 3 billion berries for everyone. So now, first of all, let's talk about Law. So for Law, it really is not looking too good for him. He's currently fighting Blackbeard, which is Luffy's final opponent, which means that Law will definitely be defeated sooner or later. Will he die? Well, probably not. But I do fully expect Blackbeard to be taking all the poneglyph that he has and maybe even his devil fruit. But yeah, even though his battle against Teach might become big news, it'll be very bad news though for Law, because he'll be known as the loser of this fight. Therefore, I don't expect a raise in Law's bounty, but instead he'll just be helping to increase Blackbeard's bounty. But the only way that there could be a bounty increase for Law is if the world government sees his immortality surgery as too big of a problem, which will end up with a bounty increase to 3,550,000,000 berries at most. Next up, we got Kid. So Kid is very interesting to me because as we saw from chapter 1071, he just arrived at Elbaf. And I believe that he will play a far bigger role that we could have imagined in the Elbaf arc. Like, there's just far too many questions left in the mist for Kid. Like, what is his connection to Elbaf? Why were his palms so sweaty here? And how does he know the men marked by flame? And I know we all expect Elbaf to be huge for Usopp, but I think that there's enough space for Kid as well. I always thought that Kid kind of looks like if Joker was a mechanic, and since we kind of presume that the king of Elbaf is Loki, then who knows? Kid might just end up earning the giant's respect and end up becoming the new king of Elbaf, which is why I expect his final bounty to be that of 4,415,000,000 berries. Last but not least, we gotta talk about Luffy. So Luffy is going to be the symbol of freedom, the liberator of the world, and the pirate king. So it is not wild to expect that he'll surpass all bounties ever. But for his next bounty, I predict that he'll go from 3 billion berries to 4 billion berries on the dot, because I expect the same thing to happen from when he went from 300 million berries to 400 million. And the events that will lead to this increase will either be because he captured Dr. Vegapunk or he killed Dr. Vegapunk. And I put those big words in quotation mark because I can totally see the world government throwing all the blame of the failure to assassinate Vegapunk onto Luffy. And finally, for his final bounty, I really sincerely believe that he'll have an insane number of 6,560,000,000 berries, far surpassing anything the world has ever seen. Number 8, we have someone with a bounty that is surprisingly higher than Luffy, and that is none other than the real god himself, Buggy the Clown, with a bounty of 3,189,000,000 berries. After managing to go up in a falling escalator, Buggy ended up becoming a Yonko. And although this is probably not what he wanted, but hey, the world sees him as a legendary pirate who's not only a rival of Shanks, but also has the world's strongest swordsman, plus the world's sexiest mafia boss under him. And since it seems like it is a trend to see him succeed in failure, if that makes any sense, then I will predict his final bounty to be at 4,115,000,000 berries. Number 7 goes to Mihawk with a bounty of 3,590,000,000 berries. And this reveal was absolutely insane for multiple reasons. First of all, how the fuck does he have a higher bounty than 2 Yonkos, his own captain included? Number 2, this confirms that he's easily emperor level and probably one of the strongest people on the planet. And lastly, number 3, the information that came with this reveal caused major uproar within the One Piece community, because it is said that Mihawk has even greater sword skills than Shanks himself. This info became the cherry on top that solidified for many fans to be convinced that Mihawk is stronger than Shanks and may be the strongest in the verse. And whether or not this is true, I personally don't care, because the fact that Oda is even giving him a bounty means that we will be seeing him in action very soon. So for Mihawk's final bounty, I honestly don't see him getting an increase, because I believe that he will be keeping his current bounty until he gets defeated by Zorro. Number 6 goes to Blackbeard with a bounty of 3,996,000,000 berries. So Teach got quite a massive increase from 2,247,600,000 berries to right under 4 bill. So I kinda expect the same thing to be happening for his next bounty, because dare I say, if Blackbeard ever acquires his next and final third devil fruit, gets his hand on the poneglyphs, and possibly also revives the legend of the rocks, then I will predict that his bounty will easily shoot up straight to 5,333,000,000 berries, which is a number higher than Whitebeard's and also paired with his trademark number 3. Number 5 goes to red hair Shanks with a bounty of 4,084,900,000 berries. Shanks' role is still very unknown to the story because we still have no real idea if he's an op or if he's an ally, because it is not only beyond sus that he has a free pass to talk to the 5 elders, but it was also recently revealed that he was indeed found by the Roger pirates after the event at God Valley in a treasure chest as a baby, which means that he could either be a celestial dragon or closely related to Rock's D. Zebek. And since it seems like Oda is slowly marinating everything for the battle royale on Elbaf, I would expect Shanks to be one of, if not the biggest player during that arc. That is why I predict a bounty raise to 5,044,000,000 berries. Number 4 goes to the character with the worst glow down ever in One Piece, Big Mom, with a bounty of 4,388,000,000 berries. So we still don't know if she's dead or alive, but since Big Mom has some kind of connection to the Giants, she could be making an appearance on Elbaf, but at the same time, I don't really expect her to have any sort of major importance anymore. That's why she will not have a bounty increase. Number 3 goes to the fish that is currently being slow cooked in magma, Kaido, with a bounty of 4,611,100,000 berries. Just like Big Mom, we have no idea if Kaido is still alive, and although part of me really wants to see him again based on personal bias, I just do not see Oda bringing back a character that's been in the spotlight for the last 4 years. That's why I don't expect a bounty increase as well. And now for the top 2 characters that have the highest bounties in One Piece are the 2 legendary pirates, Whitebeard with a bounty of 5,046,000,000 berries sitting at number 2, and the Pirate King himself, Gold D. Roger, at number 1 with a bounty of 5,564,800,000 berries. And since they are dead, well, obviously no new bounties for them. But wait, before you click off the video, we can't forget the bonus. So currently there's one man that might potentially have the highest bounty in One Piece, higher than both of the legendary pirates that I mentioned earlier, and that is none other than the leader of the Revolutionary Army, Monkey D. Dragon. He's literally called the world's worst criminal, or even the world's most wanted person, depending on the translations out there. So it will make perfect sense that his bounty will be the highest amongst those that are still alive, and that is, by the way, also including Whitebeard, who was alive at the same time that Dragon had this name. So compared to Roger, who was just a pirate that ended up finding the One Piece, Dragon is a figurehead that is directly disturbing the order that the world government, more specifically the Celestial Dragon, have imposed onto the world. That's why I believe that Monkey D. Dragon currently has a bounty of 5,958,000,000 berries. So boys, give me your thoughts. Comment down below what do you think Luffy's final bounty is going to be and whether or not you agree with my predictions. If you want to see my ranking of the top 30 strongest One Piece characters of 2022, click the video right here. And fellow weebs and gamers, if you like this video, please consider to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my content. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, drink some Coke.